At this time, I call the regular meeting of the County Commission, our August meeting, to order. We have with us tonight the senior pastor of Lincoln First Assembly of God, Reverend Lannis Lewis, to give our invocation, followed by the pledge of allegiance of the flag by Commissioner Henderson. Preacher, if you would go to that podium, we'll get you.
Let us pray. Father, we're grateful to you that you rule from your majestic throne. We are thankful that you rule in the affairs of our lives and that you dwell with us. We ask now your blessings upon this meeting. We ask you to guide our hearts and our lives according to your will. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reverend Lewis, again, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to come do this for us, and we know you have a tough job with Sherry McKellar, our clerk, being one of your people. Thank you for coming.
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion that we approve the minutes of the past meetings as printed?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. We have two things that we would like to add to the agenda. I'm going to make it agenda item 8A and 8B. So that will come up right under something. Those is going to be, they just came in yesterday, and we want to go ahead and act on them. One is a motion to apply for a grant of, I think, I don't know how much that grant is, but it's the grant that pays, you can tell me in a minute, but it's the grant that pays our transit for the senior citizens. And the next item is the CSRA Economic Opportunity Authority's Community Service Block Grant Program for FY 2025, and that's an amount of $6,000, and that goes to help pay the salaries of the senior citizens, so we want to get that too. We have with us tonight former Commissioner Virginia Williams. I see her in the back. Good to have you with us, Commissioner. And I just noticed we have Sheriff-elect Clay Smith in the audience with us tonight, and it's probably going to be good, the Sheriff, if you could come every night and keep a good eye on your father-in-law. Be sure that he doesn't get out of order up here when he be. But it's good to have you with us tonight also. Thank you for coming.
We need a vote.
Okay, is there a motion to adopt the agenda as printed and with those two additions?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
That's second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Here is none. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Item 6A is the Office of Emergency Services, Director Broom.
Chairman and Commissioners, as always, it is a privilege to be here, and you have my submitted report, but I would like to give a report on our orientation for our EMT school. For months, we've been working on trying to bolster our ranks, and we have been putting together an EMT school, and a couple of weeks ago, we took a last-ditch effort, and we put it on social media, and it kind of went viral, I guess you would say, and we had 35 applicants in 3 days, some as far away as Hinesville, Georgia. So we had orientation last night, and we had 23 come to orientation. And I know that's a record number since I've been director of students in an EMT program, within our county for the last 30 years or so. So we're very grateful for that. We're looking forward to it. It'll be a little over a 3-month course, and we hope to be able to fill some of the vacancies that we have at the end of that course. We'll be working hard and closely with those folks. And if there are no questions on the rest of my report, I have nothing further.
Any questions on his report? Thank you. 6B is the Recreation Director, Latrellis Glaze. I wasn't expecting you to be here. Good to see you.
Chairman, Board of Commissioners, good evening. You have my written report in front of you. If you have any questions.
Got his written report, any questions? If not, thank you, and
I have a yard full, it's okay, but
you go. 6C is Finance Director Dawson.
Chairman, Commissioners, you have our printed reports. We are in the process of closing FY '24. While I don't want to give a specific number, it does look like we will finish the general fund in FY '24 with a small surplus. But I also want to let you know it does not appear that we had to dip into fund balance to get that. As you may remember, we balanced the FY '24 with fund balance, and it appears that our revenues have exceeded our expenditures without having to use fund balance. I don't want to give a specific number because we're still making adjustments, but I did want to provide that.
That's always good news.
Yes, sir. And our auditors will be they've actually started their work, and we expect them to be on site sometime at the middle to the end of September.
Okay. Before you give the other, let me say something before I forget it. I don't want to put you on the spot because I hadn't told you I was going to ask you this. Have you got a calendar set up of when we will adopt millage rates and have all that?
I talked to Dr. Gumby today. So the Development Authority has published theirs. They will be meeting in 2 weeks, I believe. I talked to Dr. Gumby today, and theirs is not going to be as quick. He does not believe that they will have their adoption meeting till September the 13th, which is a Friday. So once I get that date confirmed, I'll get together with you, Chairman, and we can have a called meeting on that same day. And we can get our stuff in the newspaper. We just have to publish 1 week prior to our meeting, since it's our intent to go with the rollback rate. But as soon as I hear firm
Okay,
from Dr.
but y'all
Gumby-
working on that.
Yes, sir, we are working on it.
We'll get a time to you as quickly as we know. So we can get that. That's plenty of time to get bills printed out for the October.
Yes, sir.
What he can pay by December 20th. Okay, go ahead.
All right, Chairman, Commissioners, if there are no other questions, I'll provide the cash balances for the month ending July 24. General Fund, $3,582,744. The SPLOST 7 Fund, $1,917,001. And as a reminder, we closed out SPLOST 6 several months ago. The T-SPLOST Fund, the Transportation Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax Fund, $1,627,839. The American Rescue Plan Fund, $765,881. The Solid Waste Fund, $753,121. The Water Reserve Fund, $318,650. The Emergency Fund, $306,086. The Water Fund, $192,254. Those are all of our major funds. We have several other funds as well. The total of all of our cash and bank accounts for the end of July is $9,749,961. Our Raymond James investment accounts in our 12-month CDs, we have $1,621,538. We have $524,476 in our Raymond James Enhanced Savings, and our total balance in Raymond James is $2,146,014. Our total cash and cash equivalents at the end of last month was $11,895,975. Chairman, that's my report.
Any questions, Director Dawes? Okay, we'll move right on. You have your reports from Public Works. They're in you. If you got any questions, you can talk to me, Michael, or Director Ike. One of us will give you some type of an answer. 6E is the Community Development, Director Ike.
Chairman and Commissioners, you have my reports. Do you have any questions?
Have a report. Any questions? Not moving right along. Now we are at agenda item 7. This is the public hearing. We have an applicant for a variance request. We need to go into our public hearing. Is there a motion that we go into the public hearing?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tangley, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion to go into public hearing? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Direct aye.
Monday night, the Planning Commission heard a front setback variance for Micaiah Gumby at 4340 Augusta Highway to remove the existing double wide and replace it with a brand new one. It is in an entrance corridor, so that was the reason for him applying for the front setback variance. He will meet the minimum setback of 125 feet, and the Planning Commission recommended approval of the variance.
Okay, I see Mr. Gumby is here with his family. Got a cheerleader and a football player coming up. Okay, is there anyone here that wants to speak against the variance request? The Planning and Zoning Board has recommended that we grant this. Is there anybody that wants to speak against this variance? If not, is there anybody here who'd like to speak for it? You don't have to speak if you don't want to. You do, you can. Okay, then you got the recommendation from the Planning Commission that we approve the setback of 125 foot. Is there a motion that we accept the recommendation of the Planning Commission?
Sir, we need to come out of public hearing first.
What?
We need to come out of public
Okay, I
hearing
got
first.
you. Keep it straight. That's the reason we pay you $250,000 a year. Okay. Is there a motion that we come out of the public hearing?
So moved.
That's second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion to come out of the public hearing? There is none. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. And look right there. Vote to come out of public hearing. I had it even highlighted and didn't do it. All right, is there a motion that we accept the recommendation of the Planning Commission to grant a 125-foot setback at map 55 parcel 031 4340 Augusta Highway?
I so moved, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. You got your setback. So get started. Thank you for coming. Your children well behaved too. All right, item 8 is a proposed temporary assess agreement. Director Ike.
EPD has hired an environmental consultant to do some testing at 112 Washington Street, which is where the Development Authority property is. The motion would be for the chairman to be able to sign the agreement in order for them to get started with their groundwater testing and soil testing at the site.
Okay, we discussed this at the work session. I think we all know all about it. Is there a motion that we accept it and give me authority to sign the agreement?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
A second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. 8A is a transit grant direct to deal. is to
Evening.
apply for a grant, right?
Yes, sir. I am asking approval to submit application for the FTA Section 5311 grant, which is for rural transit. And so this grant, we have a local match. It's not quite equal to the federal. There's just a little bit, they give a little bit more for small capital purchases. But the amount that the federal government gives us is $77,792.50. The local match is equal to that, but then with an additional $420 for small capital purchases. They give us $1,680 for small capital purchases.
The local match is what?
Total local match is $78,212.50.
78,
$212.50.
$78,212.50 is what we pay, and the government pays about the same amount, is that right?
They pay a little bit more.
A little bit more than that, and that's for the
Transit,
transit
rural transit.
part. Is this applying for it, or this, we accepting this?
We haven't accepted it. We have to submit the packet for it.
Okay, so what we do, you need to, letting you apply for it, right?
Correct.
Director Dawson, that's a budgeted item.
So Chairman, Commissioners, this is the state's fiscal year 26. So we're having to tell them, apply for the grant now for 26 so they can put it in their budget in January to submit it to the General Assembly, and then once it's passed, they'll send it back to us for adoption. But what we approved to send in tonight, I'll back up a little bit, what we approved to send in tonight is what we'll have to put in our FY26 budget. So we're having to send it in about 18 months before, or at least 12 months before we start our budget, yes, sir.
But this is an ongoing thing that's in the budget.
This is an ongoing, it's something we do, and this is what we fund our transit with. But I just want to be clear that we're asking to apply for the grant, and it will be dependent upon what the federal government gives and what the state passes. But this is FY26 budget money.
The paperwork they sent me says FY25. I don't know if it just wasn't updated.
We're in FY25 now.
I know.
Okay, so I think it's got to be a mistake.
Okay, good. I'm good with that.
Okay, what I need is a motion for her to apply for the grant from federal grant. Through the state, though, you apply with the state, and they give you federal.
You don't.
To run our rural transit program. That's 3 vans that run every day, not the leisure van, but the other 3.
I made the motion, we approve.
A motion by Commissioner Clyde, that's second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Madam Clerk, you be sure you get the minute right.
Yes, sir.
Whatever y'all got to do to make it, to clear up that whether it's 25 or 26.
It's
and
26.
that, we get that right tomorrow. Okay, the next one is the CSR Economic Opportunity Authority for Community Service Block Grant Program, FY25, Director Deal.
All right. I would like to request approval to submit the application for the Community Services Block Grant Program. It's through the CSRA Economic Opportunity Authority. This grant will be for $6,000, and we will use it to help offset the salary for our activities assistant for the senior citizens.
Okay, this is something that's done every year too. They pay toward a salary. We don't want to turn that down though. Is there a motion to allow her to apply for the grant?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Thank you. You're welcome to leave.
Thank y'all.
Item number 9 is a noise ordinance that we talked about last month. Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, sir, this is a noise ordinance which will become part of the chapter under disorderly conduct. Would you like for me to read the excerpts, Mr.
Go
Chairman?
ahead and start, and we'll stop.
Thank you. 50-1-1 is the disorderly conduct sections of our county ordinances. The new section 50-101 definitions, there will be added to a definition, excessively loud and disturbing means the following. If a person of normal hearing who is inside a residence, which is not the location of the source of the noise, can, 1, clearly hear the noise, 2, distinguish the noise from background ambient noise, and 3, ascertain and identify the nature and source of the noise. Add section 50-102B20. No person shall create or cause to be created an excessively loud and disturbing noise to the disturbance of the peace of the surrounding area or neighborhood within the incorporated area of the county between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. This ordinance does not preclude any citizen or law enforcement officer from seeking relief under the terms of a peace bond.
Mr. Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Without objection, we'll suspend the reading of the first reading. Director Walton, if you would, post this on our website so that people can go ahead and be looking at it. This will come back to a vote next month. We'll have the second reading and actually vote on it. It also says in there somewhere that this is enforced by the sheriff or his lawful deputies or county code enforcement officer. And if that don't work, you can send Commissioner Collins. You already got him having the dog on.
There ain't no problems, Commissioner Chairman, because I can't hear anyway.
Okay, then with that, we'll come back next month. Item 10 is the Advanced Technology Group, MOU Director Broom.
Mr. Chairman, the Advanced Technology Group out of Augusta has been on Graves Mountain Tower since 2014. They co-located there under a memorandum of understanding. Certain in-kind services were to be provided. They were, and that has ended. So they have resubmitted an additional, a new memorandum of understanding that does not meet our current practice of co-location on the tower. And it is not a document that the county attorney advises us to proceed with. So I would like the opportunity to bring it to the next meeting so that we can develop a contract, a co-location agreement or contract that we currently use with our tenants on Graves Mountain. So we're not asking, we don't have a vote to make here, just letting y'all know we're going to develop a more formal contracting agreement for this item.
Without objection, we will postpone this until the September meeting. There is no objection, so that has been postponed and carried over, Madam Clerk, to the September meeting. Item 11 is tree removal, Graves Mountain Tower. We talked about this, I think, a year ago, and we got to do something directive.
Yes, sir, we did talk about it about a year ago, and of course, the trees have kept growing, and we've got a few that are dead, that are close to the guy wires. We actually have some cleanup that we're trying to get scheduled inside the impoundments. We have 2 towers and 2 separate impoundments, and we actually have some sapling pines that are growing up through equipment that we've got to get removed rather quickly. But we're talking about the 3 guy ways, the path on those wires. You've got, 75, 80-foot pine tree. If they're blown over and they strike those guy wires, it's going to be a bad day. Casey will probably resign, even though I didn't cause it. But, so we have 2 towers, so there's 6 guyways. We also have the water tower up there, and Claude Spires has given us a quote on clearing around the tower, the water tower, as well as the guyways to both antenna sites. So
And the buildings.
And yes, sir, it'll be the buildings, the guyways, and not inside the compound. We're going to do that ourselves, inside the fences of each of the sites. but the guyways and around the water tower at the base of the mountain. And
We are cutting down enough trees that nothing will fall and hit any of our guide wires, our
That-
power, our building, or our water tank. Is that correct?
that is what, the condition was when we requested the quote, that we're moving everything back and underbrushing it more or less, getting the large stuff down that won't, so we don't have anything strike one of our impoundments or sites or the guy wires, because all those make for a really bad day.
Well, it's getting kind of critical, kind of scared. They getting so big. And didn't one of our vendors that pay us a lot of money tell you we need to do something?
Yes, sir, one of their subcontractors did. And Chairman, for the public's knowledge, this is where all of our public safety radio systems are contained, or the outer component of our radio communications for all public safety channels. So that's one big item that we've got to protect. The other is the source of revenue. We do receive an amount of revenue every year from our tenants on those towers. So we're not only we are protecting the public interest in two ways.
Director Dawes, I didn't ask you how we're going to pay for it.
Chairman, we have several options. My recommendation would be to use our ARP funds for this.
Okay, is there a motion that we have Mr. Spies remove all these trees that will interfere if they blow down to any of our communications or water tank? Amount is $18,000.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second,
A second, Mr. Chairman.
got a motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion? Okay, this will be paid from ARP funds. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Thank you. Item 12 is the library tech and cameras. This was discussed at the work session. Director Walton.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this project will use up to $15,000 from the Dover Partridge Library Fund, I believe, to install a county network in the library that will enhance services and improve security. For the first time, dispatch will be able to monitor the library's cameras, and I ask for your approval.
This is the amount of $17,050.
This is $15,000 up to $15,000.
I got that in my handwriting. I got $2,050 for Ted Kirkland to do something. Where did I get that from?
That's part of his quote.
Huh?
That's on the quote. The 2050 is on the quote for 15,000.
Yeah, the 2050 is part of this quote, part of the overall project. That's one part.
2050 is included in the 15?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so we're approving 15,000, I was thinking it was 17,000.
No.
That's good. All right, we discussed this last month and we agreed to do it. Last week, I think that this is, this will be paid for from the general fund and reimbursed back to the general fund by the Dover Partridge Fund. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion, second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Item number,
Abstain, Mr. Chairman, on this one.
can you state your reason?
Yes, sir. Guess Tupper's doing some work that's involved in this.
Okay. Let the record show that Commissioner Clyde abstained.
Yes, sir.
All right, item 13 is the replacement of primary servers and storage. Director Walton.
The county's primary servers and storage are nearing 14 years old, or about twice the manufacturer's recommended use. These host the applications and data for Clerk of Superior Court, Probate Magistrate Court, Assessor, Sheriff, and other legacy applications and the county's image archives. I ask for your approval to proceed with the $48,264 $1,024.94 project, and I believe the funding is coming from SPLOST 7, Mr. Dawes?
Okay, this was talked about to replace the primary services storage. He just told you what they are. We discussed it, I think last week at the work session. So he's asking that we replace this, and the cost is $48,264.94 to be paid from Splash 7. Who's the contractor?
The service.
Parish Technology.
I'm sorry?
Parish Technology
Yes,
is
sir.
who we doing this
Yes, sir.
with?
The
Okay.
majority of it will be,
I
yes.
see it, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
A second?
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tangley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. The motion is carried. Thank you. No, you got another one. Item- This is the real important one here, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Radio, TV, tech refresh, Director Walton.
Yes, sir. In the 2000s, Lincoln County invested in equipment that provided for the broadcast of Red Devil football games on local radio and television channels. Today, the live radio broadcasts continue, and the video effort has migrated to YouTube. This request for up to $4,000 provides for the replacement of this nearly 20-year-old audio gear. And I ask for your approval, and I believe we'll use hotel motel funds for this.
Well, we want people to hear the football games. They want to hear it. He's requested $4,000 to update this 17-year-old equipment so we can continue to broadcast and put on the radio our football games. And let me tell you, the good part of this is, and Leighton and I were talking about it the other day, if something happened to that radio station, which a few years ago they thought it was, we'd be out of business. Now we can YouTube it. I think more people probably YouTube it and listen to it anyway than they do the other. So we in business now that we can go no matter what happens to the radio station, right?
Yes, you now have listeners, once YouTube is posted, all over the world.
Yep. I might get down double branches about as far as I get, but we got a motion to approve this to be paid for out of the hotel motel tax, $4,000. Is that a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion by Commissioner Tankersley, is a second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Henderson. All in favor of the motion, let it know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, motion's carried.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Item 15 is the GFA grant lead service water lines, Director Dawson.
Chairman, Commissioners, we're going to be asking the Commissioners to accept up to a $30,500 grant from the Georgia Environmental Facilities Association and authorize the Chairman to sign this grant. This grant is to allow us to do an inventory of our entire water system to see if there are any homes that have lead service lines. That would be the line from the customer side of the meter to their house. We can't do the work under the grant. We would have to have our engineering firm do that. EMI has agreed to do that, and they've also agreed not to exceed the grant amount.
Okay, this is to accept the grant, right?
Yes, sir. This
From
is
GFA for $30,500.
yes, sir. We've been awarded. It was a formula grant, and so we need to formally accept it.
Okay, we're gonna need a motion to formally accept it, but I'm gonna need another motion for us to pay the engineers, and that's $27,000, or will that come back later?
We'll bring that back, Chairman.
Okay.
They will be paid for out of the grant.
All right, there's a motion that we accept the grant. Give me the authority to sign.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion? There is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we're getting to the curbside waste contract. This was discussed pretty good the other day too. Director Dawson.
Chairman, Commissioners, our current contract with our solid waste hauler ends at the end of this year. They have given us a 104% increase on our price. We would like to piggyback on the contract that the city has with Ryland Environmental. That is at $19 a cart for a once-a-week pickup. That is about $5.40 more than we're paying now, but it is also almost $8 less than what the current provider wants to charge us. The county attorney has reviewed the contract. The chairman and I have talked with them about what we would do, and it is our recommendation that the Board of Commissioners approve this contract with Ryland Contracting for 7 years. And there are, for 7 years. And Chairman, I'll turn it back over to you for questions.
You're what?
I'll turn it back over to you, Chairman.
Okay, we are looking at the contract with Ryland. Mr. James is here. He was with us at the work session. I really don't think we need to talk to him. We got what we need. That we contract with them, he's assured us we won't have any interruption between December 31st and January when the company switched. This is the best way we can do it to piggyback and keep it from cost going up 104%. It's up enough as it is. Do we? I know we accepted the contract, but we also going to, after we accept the contract, we need to talk about how we taking it up. Is that on
No,
there?
sir. No, sir.
That's
We don't need that. We don't need to bring that up
All
tonight.
right, thank you. That motion that we award the contract to Ryland Sanitation beginning January 1st for a 7-year contract, need the authority of the clerk to sign it.
I make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion?
Chairman,
Commissioner Tanker.
it is that aware that it will increase each year by 5% during that 7 years. Is that correct?
Yes, it's showing 5%, but we agreed to offset it by using solid waste funds to offset that. So it's actually gonna be half of that 5 this year, the other 2 will come on next. That's what we were talking about just a minute ago. I guess I'll come back somewhere. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Item 17 is the Department of Family and Children's Services, I'll pause the FY25 budget, Director Dawson.
Chairman, Commissioners, as we mentioned at the work session, this is an item that I overlooked. It's something that we have always done. It's actually a budgeted item. It's in the budget. I just need the board to authorize the chairman to sign the budget request for a DFAX. It's for $7,400. It's built into our existing budget, and I just failed to bring it to you in May. And so I'm asking you to do that tonight.
All right, you heard the recommendation. Do you have a motion to approve the budget, which is in our budget, in the general fund budget? Me and the clerk, the authority to sign it.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Yes, second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? There is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Item 18, Fort Eisenhower contract modification. Director Dawes.
Chairman, Commissioners, as we discussed the other day, we have received a contract amendment with Fort Eisenhower. We provide detainee housing services for them. Our agreement with them has us getting a specific daily rate. This year it's $107 a day per detainee. They don't guarantee us any volume, and quite honestly, we don't house that many folks for them, but they have to have, whenever they need services, they have to have housing services, and we're the only contract they have. They don't have any other contracts around. So the Fort had to assign, their contracting office had to assign a value to the contract. and what they're wanting to do is move part of that value somewhere else. It doesn't hurt us because our rate's still $107 a day. We weren't guaranteed any volume, so this is really more of an administrative function. And the other thing I would like, and I sent this to the commissioners this morning, the other thing, back in February, we sent a letter saying that we would support a 3-year extension of this agreement, but we built in 10% escalators, and I was told yesterday that they have agreed to that. They'll be sending that contract extension, and so this is the last year of the contract we're in, and then in 26 we'll have a 3-year extension, and those rates will be 10% higher. So I think it's $118, $130, and $143 a day. So we're getting additional funds for that. So I would recommend that the board authorize the chairman to sign this amendment because it doesn't really hurt us.
You heard the recommendation from the finance director. Is there a motion? We approve the contract and give me and the clerk authority to sign it.
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion, second.
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Tankersley. Any discussion? Carries none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried and it is passed. Item 19, Tyson Steel Building at the Ag Arena. Commissioner Tankersley.
This is just a price quote that you asked me to get for us. 16-foot building, $112,417.13. I think we have a grant, some money that Chairman found for us that's going to pay for this building. This will be on the addition, the lower end of the current steel building that we've put up out there. This will be a housing building for the animals, grooming facility, and also a wash area. And the reason we're doing it like this, we got a little bit of grow room in it. We probably won't need it all to start with, but
This is it is, Commissioner Tankersley said, it's coming out of a $400,000 grant that we received from the Department of Agriculture, thanks to Representative Leverett. Made this to us, and this is, you put it in a motion, Commissioner, that we go ahead and do this?
yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Tankersley that we contract with Tyson Steel Building to build this 80 by 100, 16-foot high for $112,470.13 to be paid from the Ag grant. That's second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion? I want you to know we have discussed this and worked on it at the work session. This wasn't all done just tonight. Any questions? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, and the motion is carried. The next is the Ag Arena flooring. I got that under my name for some reason. I guess that's what I told the clerk to do. But you have pictures of it, and I think you've all seen this. This is maybe the Lincoln Journal might like a picture of what this is going to look like. I think we got a drawing of it, but this is with Clint Bertalan, Bertalan Farms out of Aiken, South Carolina. It's for sand footing of a covered arena. That's the 80 by 140 foot, which is under the existing arena. That'd be for a laser grade and a compact sub base, insulation 5-inch stone dust base, install 2+ inches of equestrian sand, construct 3 board fences with 2x10 bottoms, install Trex boxes around the 14 columns, move down spouts and cut to fit new columns, and to install a irrigation system up under this. Total cost of that is $108,350, and that will also come from the Ag grant. Is there a motion that we approve this?
I make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
That's second.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
I thought Commissioner Tankston was. but he-
I'm just trying to give them a chance, you know.
I'll spend all the money I'm spending tonight.
You ain't got to spend it yet. Got a motion second, any discussion? Chair is done. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Thank you. You know, we've had about a 6, 8 month, just nothing being done out there, but it's fixing to start moving, I think, pretty quick. I think Mr. Madison will be doing some grading. Stakes next week, getting ready to grade.
Yes, sir.
This project's fixing to get started. All right, that's enough of that. Okay, the item 21 is the Georgia Department of Transportation Utility Aid Memorandum of Understanding. That's number 21. This is a grant. As we discussed last week, this is to relocate some water lines at Soap Creek 220 Bridge. A new bridge will be being built out there in the next couple of years. Water lines are in the way of some of it. They're gonna have to move it. DOT has given us a grant of $178,850 to be used to move that. DOT is actually doing the moving. We're not actually fooling with it.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Our part of this, though, is that Lincoln, I reckon I need two motions. I need a motion to approve the 178 and a motion to spend the other, right? Well, we got an engineer to 27,000. We got to pay.
Yes, sir, I think all we need to do is just approve to accept the grant because they're gonna pay for it, and then we would need a second motion to approve the engineering. Yes, sir. One motion for this, for the.
We have two motions, I
Yes,
can
sir.
understand. Okay, is there a motion that we accept the grant from the Georgia Department of Transportation for $178,850 to relocate the water lines?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion? There is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. The next motion is that Lincoln County will have to pay $27,000 on the engineering. That's a total of a $205,000 project. That's coming from where?
My recommendation is ARP, Chairman.
I got ARP, boy, I hate to see that thing run out. So that will go with EMI, Engineering Management Incorporated, who's the county's engineers. Is there a motion that we approve this $27,000 to be paid from ARP funds?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion, is there a second? Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Tankersley. Any discussion on the motion?
I got a question.
Commissioner Tankersley.
Is it any probability that we might get reimbursed for them engineering fees?
No, sir, it's specifically spelled out in the state's grant and aid that they don't pay for the engineering.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, motion's carried. Let me move this pretty quick here. This is amended LMEG, as we discussed last week a little bit. I got so many notes, there's no way that I'm gonna stay on track, so I'm gonna make it brief if we can. January meeting we approved Tabernacle Church, Lewis Family Road, Reed Road, Bethany Church Road. I'm asking that we take off Lewis Family Road and Reed Road and Bethany Church Road. The reason those three are being taken off, I have ridden them both with ASA Paving and with Epps Brothers, who does the triple surface treatment. The reason we've added some patching is that these roads can get by. They both said that we could get by a couple of 3 or 4 more years with these roads if we do the patching on it, and we wouldn't have to spend the money right now doing it, Bethany Church is almost 5 miles long, it's 7 miles. So I'm asking that, that we take those off. So now our LMIG would be Tabernacle Church Road and a little bit of Goshen Church Road and a portion of Clary Road. Clary Road is at the end of Reed Road in 220, and it goes down 0.2 of a mile, I think. It's not very far, but it's getting in bad shape, and I'd like to leave those and add Goshen Church and Clary Road. Is there a motion?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion? Chair is none. All in favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. The motion is carried. All right, let me bring you up to date on this. This is where it gets complicated. I mentioned this to you the other day, and it's been a change or two made. Remember, we have LMIG that we get every year from DOT. It's 100% of $381,577.68. We have to give a 10% match. That match can come from our T-Splosh funds. That is $38,157. This year, never in the past and probably not in the future, but this year, we got what they call LMIG 2024 special. That amount was $472,346.16 for a total of $892,346.16. So, we are asking to do 26 roads with extensive patching. That amount is pretty high. We're asking for $400,000 to be spent from LMIG. These roads are, and let me tell you, two of them, which is C.E. Norman Road and Trueluck Road, which comes under a different little plan than this. Those two are about $100,000. That's just in patching. If we don't patch these roads, we can't go over them later. We've got to fix the bad spots under it. Lewis Crook Road, Lovelace Road, C.E. Norman Road, Crook Road, Local Church Road, Messier Road, Leathersville Road, Calden Kennedy Road, Jones Martin Road, Amity Woodlawn, Clay Hill, Hidden Harbor, Bamboo Trail, Hall Road, Oak Court, Mount Zion Church Road, Pinecone Drive, Oak Drive, Redbud Drive, Double Branches, Woodlock Trail, Mallet Lane. Those roads are total up to be $760.76. Also, we have 4 roads that's added to that, which is Saddlebrook Drive, Pleasant View Drive, Indian Cove, and Poland Road. That is a total of $52,543.33. Those are the roads that we are looking at repatching now. We're going to have some things that might come up, so I'm asking that we use, I hope I got this right, that we use $400,000 of LMIG for patching. Then we have Tabernacle Church Road that will be resurfaced with triple surface with Epps Brothers will be doing that. ASA is doing all the patchwork. Tabernacle Church Road is $105,752, and Goshen Church Road is only about $4,000. So that will be that will be paid also out of these LMEG funds. So we got a total of about $428,000, and those 26 roads is $318,021. My numbers are right, and Ernie and I work on them numbers to be sure they're right, but I think they're right. But that's what we'll be doing with this. That's gonna leave us some LMEG, which we want to do, because when we submitted what we would do with our special LMEG, one of the things we used, I think, Director Dawes, was maybe $100,000 worth of gravel.
Yes, sir.
We use a lot of gravel, $16,000 a week sometimes, that we use gravel that goes on county dirt roads. So we want to use some of this money to be able to purchase this gravel that we've been paying for out of T-Splash funds. Now, we're gonna be able to take care of all of our resurfacing and our patching, which this year we're doing more patching than anything else to get ready for the next year's. LMEG can be carried over. I know the special can't. It's got to be spent this
Yes,
year.
sir, we can carry it over for 3 years.
The special or
Yes,
the
sir.
regular LMEG?
The special and the LMIG, we can carry over for 3 years. It runs just like, regular LMIG.
Well, that's good. That's even better, because we're not gonna probably get it all spent this year. That's what we're looking at with our LMEG monies now. The next thing, and I'll be through, True Luck Road. I have hem-hawed around about what I thought we ought to do with that. True Luck Road, we got another special pot of money that luckily Senator Anderson and Representative Leverett has played a big part in. We got $150,000, if y'all remember, that we fussed about YMCA tearing up this road. We fixed it 2 other times, this 3rd time. And DOT has given us $150,000. We can spend the $150,000 or more. If we don't spend at least $150,000, then they pay only 90% of whatever we spend under the $150,000. All right, here's what I'm asking. We have you got the 49,324 added to either number. That's just that. To asphalt with 1.5 inches of compacted asphalt is, I think, 1 mile and 2/10, I think. That is $198,641. You add that together, it's $247,000. If you do it with triple surface, with both the patching and the 60, the 198 with asphalt, 63 with the other. DOT finally approved to do triple surface, but they reluctantly approved it. Took them 2 weeks to give me the approval, because I thought I wanted it. For us to go ahead and do that True Luck Road with asphalt, it's $85,800. No, it's $48,700 more than it would be if we did it with the other. And I really think maybe we better off to, since they gave us this 150, and that's really what they want us to do. And they paying pretty much 100. They paying 150 of the 198, basically, is what they're doing. That we go ahead and y'all approve for me to do that with asphalt instead of triple surface on that road.
I would too. I ain't a fan of the other. I'm gonna tell you that.
Well, I just think since they gave us that money, that's really what they'd like for us to do. So, I'm gonna ask for a motion on this part that we do this 150, but it's gonna be a little bit more than 150 that we use. I don't think I wrote it down. It's $48,000 difference, but that we use the 48,700 difference from the 150 that DOT is giving us, and that we will pay this out of special purpose T-Splosh. That we would take this 48,700 out of T-Splosh fund
To go with
to go with the DOT money to pay for it and get it done.
Two lot, right?
Right, through Luck Road. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna ask for a motion.
I make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
That's second.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Tankersley. Any discussion? If you want to talk to me a little more about it, come see me.
Mr. Chairman,
If I got it all.
since you opened the door here,
Yes, sir.
could you put that down on paper? I have seen numbers flying through here left and right. I don't want yours, I want it typed up nice and neat.
You want big bold letters where you
Yes,
can read
sir,
it?
big letters.
Now, I know you can't see good. Okay, we can get that done.
Thank you.
We can get that done. All in favor, vote let me know, saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. One more little thing while we on roads. Going ahead and make this, I'm probably gonna do it again later. We got a couple of things in the working that's gonna be good. It's all pretty much road. I don't want to complicate this, but the 75% of our T-Splosh funds that we had to negotiate, is a good bit of money. We had about $9 million total of our T-Splosh. What is being done with some of that, some of it's going to the roundabout at Clyde's Crossing. We also got about right at 20 miles of resurfacing that we don't do. DOT handles it all. They pay for it, they get it done. It comes out of our 75% in the negotiations. It can't be used for anything other than what was approved 2 years ago. But those roads that are being resurfaced they have told me between now and before the end of the year. I hope. That's the reason we jumped on double branches and some more to get it fixed, where they tear it up before they come through and put the asphalt on. Messier Road, all of them. But here's the roads that are being done is Double Branches, Chamberlain Ferry, Colvin Kennedy, Partridge Town, and Messier. Now, you did have a lot of prep work we got to do is coming out of that LMIG with the other money. That will be all done with asphalt, and you're looking at roughly about $5 million to resurface those roads. That's based at about $250,000 a mile. So it might be just a little bit more because they're going to stripe them too. But that's, if you really listen to me good, go back and listen to it on the internet, wherever it is. That, we looking at somewhere between our money and DOT money at probably close to $6 million. So we're spending very little out of Lincoln County funds, and to be frank with you, not one nickel of what we just talked about is coming from general fund money, which is funded by the $3.1 million that comes from property taxes. This is all being done. If we had to do this for property taxes, we looking at road work now. Of course, 19% of that comes out of those, but we're looking at just about $2 million short of what the total county budget is, general fund budget. So We got a lot of road work that's fixing to be done over the next few months and years, so we fortunate we got $800,000 this year when we normally get about 400. So with that being said, I will entertain a motion. No, I'm not. We got a rule, we got item number 23. That won't take but a second. I don't believe that, do you? This is something that we talked about last week too. This is Loco, Martin's Crossroads, Midway Fire Departments. Beulah is not in it because it's a Lincoln Wilkes and it was taken care under Wilkes County. This is something that we do every year, every 3 years? That we do every 3 years with the equipment and all that the Forestry Commission owns. It's a memorandum of understanding of what we do. Y'all had it. We talked about it last week. I need a motion giving me the authority to sign the memorandum of understanding with the Georgia Forestry Commission. Have a motion.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second, Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tank, second by Commissioner Collins. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Is there a motion to adjourn? So moved. Oh, boy, that was quick. Motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Second. Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion to adjourn? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign, and we stand adjourned.